Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. For today's video, we are going to be looking at NBA offseason report cards for every single team out there based off this previous offseason. That's pretty much all said and done. I mean, you might see a few minor changes here and there between now and the NBA season, but I would say overall, it's pretty dang wrapped up. So what we're going to do here is go through all these gradings. I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on I think this grade is correct. If I don't think it's correct, I'm obviously gonna give you guys what I think it should be out there. So yeah, it should be a pretty good time. If you guys can please do me a quick favor and please drop a like on this video. If y'all can help me get to 1,000 likes, would be greatly appreciated. And as always, guys, check out the second channel, Extra Crispy, for daily NBA content over there. Link to that in the description below. Almost so close to 50K subscribers. All right, here we go. So the first thing we have is the Atlanta Hawks with a B grading. So yeah, pretty much they had a great NBA draft. They got Cam Reddish, they got DeAndre Hunter. Now as far as like losing players, you know, Dwayne Dedmon was their starting center. He's good, he's fine. You know, getting somebody like a Damian Jones kind of gives you more like a traditional guy. They got Jabari Parker on a nice contract. I would say overall a B sounds pretty good, mainly because of their NBA draft. Like, no, they did not like sign any big names, but they kept Young out there. Jabari, not really a big name, but still a good contract. So I would say a B's pretty accurate. For the Boston Celtics, a B minus. So this one I actually kind of agree with. I disagree with. I would say it's closer to more like a B plus. Mainly because I feel like Carson Edwards could end up being like a steal of this previous draft class. I do think he's going to be a great backup point guard. Maybe not right away, but eventually behind Kemba Walker. I also think that the Boston Celtics did avoid just a really bad situation. Like, you lost two of your starters in Kyrie Irving and Al Horford. Like, for a lot of teams, there's no bouncing back to that. The fact that you were able to replace that with an all-star in Kemba Walker and just get a good, solid guy in Enes Kanter. No, I do think Al Horford's better, but I think Enes Kanter is no, like it's not like going out there. You don't got, like, Zaza starting at center now. You know what I'm saying? So I would say closer to a B plus just because they were able to go out there and replace some of these guys. With sure, players that are not like as good, but Kemba Walker, nobody's complaining about that. I would say a B plus. Next up, we have the Brooklyn Nets A. Yep, this one's pretty easy. You got Kyrie, you got Kevin Durant, you got DeAndre Jordan. You were able to get something back for D'Lo, which is just crazy. Well, and Kevin Durant, like, you were able to like not just let him walk away. Like, you were able to kind of get something going out there. So that was nice. Didn't lose like any big time piece. Like, yeah, Ed Davis was a nice backup big, I guess. Jared Dudley's cool. But I think overall, just I would probably say closer to A plus. I actually really like the signing of Taurean Prince. I do think that's a very underrated move. Next up, we got the Charlotte Hornets with an F. Yeah, you pay Terry Rozier like he was an already contributing starting point guard. Like, we don't even know who he's going to be like next. You lost Kemba Walker. There is no real direction in sight here. I mean, you got like PJ Washington, who can be like fine. But from an offseason standpoint, it's an F. It should probably be like a Z. Like, you guys should probably get like an actual Z. Like, it's time to start making up a report card for the Charlotte Hornets based off this situation. Next up, we got the Chicago Bulls with a B plus rating. So yeah, their big time thing was getting obviously Kobe White in the draft. I think he'll be nice. You know, Thaddeus Young. I don't really think they needed Thaddeus Young. I did think that signing, it kind of caught me off guard. It just seemed like a weird fit. Maybe it's because they wanted some more veterans in the locker room, which I guess you can understand, but, you know, I like Lauri Markkanen at the power forward spot, Wendell Carter at the center, so I don't know how that all kind of affects things. Daniel Gafford, I still think could be a pretty solid big here in the NBA. Tomas Satoransky, will they give them a nice, stable player to play really the point guard or shooting guard spot. And then as far as, like, losing guys, you know, Robin Lopez, whatever, that's fine. I'm surprised they actually bring back Walter Lemon Jr. Like, I liked him a lot towards the end of the season. I thought he could have been something for the team. But, yeah, B+. You know, I probably would have liked to see them sign more of a big name, you know, being a big market team like Chicago is. So I would probably say closer to, like, a B. But B+, I'm not, like, complaining about that. So, yeah, it's fine. Next up, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers with the B-. I disagree with this one. I would be closer to, say, like, a C, C-, average at best. Yes, you did get who could perhaps be one of the best guards in this draft class in Garland. Like, you could say he could end up being the best point guard, but depending if Ja Morant ends up being what we all think he's going to be, but then obviously Ja would be. But, I mean, Dylan Windler had, like, a nice summer league, so he looks like something out there. As far as losing guys, you didn't really have much to lose anyway. And then, of course, getting Kevin Porter with that 30th pick from Detroit was a pretty bold move to make. You know, trading away some picks to do so, but he'll be a nice player, I would say. To get closer to that B minus, B plus range, I think you probably need to trade away Kevin Love in his contract and just kind of go from there. But I thought Darius Garland alongside Colin Sexton could be kind of awkward. We'll see how it goes. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. I hope they do. But B minus, I would say they are closer to more like an average offseason. Next up, we got the Dallas Mavericks with a B. So they got Boban, DeLon Wright, who I do like as a defensive guard here in the NBA. As far as losing players, they lost Dirk Nowitzki, but he was just old anyway, so it's now officially time to close that Dirk window, and the Luka Doncic window is officially open. But also getting Kristaps Porzingis on the max contract, a little risky. It is risky, man. You know, a 7-foot guy, taller than that, obviously, with lower body injuries, never a good thing. So I think I would have to say closer to a B minus because I don't think they really went out there and got like any huge names. And I think that Kristaps signing it's like you had to do it. You had to do it, but it is still risky out there. Seth Curry will be nice on this team too, of course. Next up, we got the Denver Nuggets with an A ranking right there. Okay, so they were able to draft Bobo, Jeremy Grant. Didn't really lose all that much. Isaiah Thomas wasn't really playing the way they already have Monte Morris. Trey Lyles just wasn't really fitting in. And then they got Jamal Murray on the max contract extension. Bobo, fell to a team that was already a top team in the Western Conference. So if that all works out, then this team's going to be great, especially, Michael Porter playing too. But I thought getting Jeremy Grant was like a perfect move because that instantly gives you a guy, you got Paul Millsap currently playing that 4 spot. He's a bit older, but still a good player. But it just gives you like this new athletic, improved 3-point shooter at that 4 spot, can also play the 3. So I really absolutely love Jeremy Grant being on this team. An A? I would think just based off the players falling in the draft and getting Jeremy Grant, it's warranted to say an A. Maybe you might say an A minus, but no, an A, because an A is like, damn, dude, you got to really do some special stuff out there. Next up, we got the Detroit Pistons, my favorite team, with a C plus rating. I agree with this. I would probably say closer to like a C because Derrick Rose was nice. But I guess the reason you can say a C plus is that guy right there, man, Siko Damboya. I'd probably still say it wrong, just based solely off his potential. I've heard good things about Jordan Bone. Lewis King was actually a decent signing, I would say. Markieff Morris gives them a nice vet out there. Tony Snell, decent. So, yeah, I would say they didn't really make like any like big-time splashes, but just convincing Derrick Rose to come sign for this team on a really decent contract, I think is a W within itself, because Derrick Rose-type players never come to Detroit, although he is older and injury-prone, so I guess maybe nobody else really want to take him on. Next up, we got the Golden State Warriors with a B. I would probably honestly say, guys, closer to like a B plus or an A minus, because you can't really hold Kevin Durant leaving against them. We all kind of knew it was going to happen. You got to look at the circumstance, the fact that they were able to flip Kevin Durant for an all-star in D'Lo. I guess I was trying to say that more earlier about the Golden State Warriors than I was the Nets earlier, when I talked about the Nets earlier. But yeah, being able to do that and get like an all-star is fantastic. Willie Cauley-Stein, I think, is going to be like the perfect center alongside this double guard backcourt. Alec Burks can be a nice scorer. I know they lost like Jordan Bell, Andre Iguodala, Damian Jones off the team to Marcus Cousins, but I think when it's all said and done, they put a nice little team around Curry. So it's going to be fun to watch that team next year. Next up, we got the Houston Rockets with a B minus. No, that's wrong. They probably an A. And say what you want about Russell Westbrook, say what you want about these two guys playing together, because yes, it could just go and fail, and that could just be it. But it also could really, really succeed. The fact that you were able to get rid of Chris Paul's contract, that the whole entire NBA fan base was roasting. Everybody was saying that contract, just nobody was going to take it on. The fact that you were able to get Russell Westbrook out of that is a W, because even if it doesn't work out, guess what? You still don't have Chris Paul anymore. That's an A move. That's an A offseason move to me. Anthony Bennett, Ben McLemore. I mean, yeah, I guess those are not too interesting. I would like to see them get a few more wing players, but getting Russell Westbrook for Chris Paul, I think ups that at least to a B plus. You got to say, not a B minus. Next up, we got the Indiana Pacers with a B plus. Of course, their big time thing was going out there and getting Malcolm Brogdon, who should be pretty decent in the backcourt of the Victor Oladipo. If anything, it gives them like a nice, efficient guy until Oladipo's back from injury. Brogdon's one of those players that everybody wants on their team. You did lose your starting point guard, Darren Collison, to retirement. Bogdanovich was their leading scorer when Oladipo went out at around 20 points per game. Thaddeus Young was a starter. Wesley Matthews, Tyreek Evans. We all know the story of Tyreek, man. Y'all get an F just for that, man. F's in the chat for that. Goga Bidat is going to be a pretty good center, I would say. B+. You lost quite a bit, but you gained quite a bit back. I would say a B+ feels about right. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Clippers. Yes, A+. You had one of the best offensive teams already in the NBA. You added Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. No more to be said. No more to be said. That is an A++. Los Angeles Lakers, A-. Yeah, I agree with this. Obviously, you know, Laker Nation wanted to get a third All-Star alongside Anthony Davis and LeBron James. The fact that you were able to get Anthony Davis already puts you in the A- range. Of course, you know, getting DeMarcus Cousins on a cheap contract too was nice. I just think that, you know, yes, they got some nice depth, but they were looking for that third star, because that's just how, you know, Laker fan base are. They want that big three out there, you know what I'm saying? But I would say the fact of the matter that, you know, you had to wait till Kawhi made his decision, and right away you were able to go out there and still put some nice role players around AD and LeBron. I think is warranted an A-. An A or an A+ would have been if they would have got a Bradley Beal or that third type of star out there. Next up, we have the Memphis Grizzlies, B+. Okay, very interesting. I think a big one of this is, you know, people are talking about Brandon Clark and, you know, them being able to draft him, which he was a steal in that draft, obviously. But, yeah, I think they continue to just, I guess the best way I'm trying to say it is that, you know, this team didn't really do anything to make them win right now, but they don't need to be doing that. They were able to go out there and get John Morant. Am I not seeing Clark is on this team, right? I'm not, yeah, okay, but I did not see his name for a second. You got Brandon Clark and John Morant and everything, but like that. So, yeah. They were able to go out there and get big-time pieces for their future. Can't go wrong with that. Next up, we get the Miami Heat with a B. Getting Jimmy Butler. Tyler Hero looks nice. You were able to get rid of Hassan Whiteside's contract. You did lose Josh Richardson, who I actually am a big fan of. I thought he would have been fantastic alongside Jimmy Butler. But overall, you were able to go out there and convince one of the top players in the NBA to come to your team. I would have liked them to go out there and get another starter play alongside Jimmy. I just don't think Jimmy's good enough to lead a team deep into the playoffs anymore. He's just really not that. But you still, at least by getting him on the team, you set yourself up for the future to get an all-star, to convince a guy to come there and play in Miami with Jimmy. So a B, I agree with that one right there, too. No big time. You know, it was not an A move. It wasn't a C move. It was a B move. Next up, we got the Milwaukee Bucks with a B. You know what? This I kind of disagree with. I would probably say this is closer to a C. I thought losing Malcolm Brogdon was a big-time hit to the squad. You had to go out there. You had to pay Chris Middleton a max contract. You got Brook Lopez on a pretty good deal. You still got Bledsoe. I don't think they made enough improvements out there. I don't think the roster is better than what it was last season, is what I'm trying to say. And I felt like losing Brogdon, like, yes, you did get Kyle Korver and Wesley Matthews. Those guys will be fine. Like, they will be good enough. I just wanted a bit more, I guess. I don't know. I just wanted a bit more. I would say closer to a C. Next up, we got the Minnesota Timberwolves with a B+ rating. No, I'm gonna say a D+. I'm gonna say a D+, and that's no hate against like Jarrett Culver. I think he'll be a nice shooting guard in the NBA, but you failed to address the Andrew Wiggins situation. The management is continuing to put the wrong players alongside Karl Anthony Towns. You didn't really improve at the point guard spot. Like, you lost Derrick Rose. Jeff Teague's a year older. You don't have Dario Saric anymore. It's like, they're just not putting the right players alongside Cat. Like, you got damn Jordan Bell at the forward. That makes no damn sense alongside him. It just doesn't to me. So, no, they, like, yeah, you can't give a team a really good rating just because they ended up getting lucky in the lottery and getting a good pick. Because you take away Jarrett Culver, and this team has not done much more out there. I do like Reed. I do like Naz Reid. Next up, we got the Pelicans with an A. Yes, I agree with this one. And no, it's not just because it's Zion. It's because we knew Anthony Davis did not want to play there. They were able to flip him around and get an historical amount of just, like, assets back. And really, they just were able to put guys around Zion. You know, J.J. Redick, keeping Drew Holiday, getting Lonzo, getting Ingram, getting Derek Favors, Jackson Hayes. Hell yeah, man. This team is... It's a young team. It's a very young team. But they're going to be doing something, at least, maybe not next season, but definitely within the next 2 to 3 seasons. Pelicans, I think, are going to be big time on the radar. Next, we have the New York Knicks with a C. How do you give them anything but a damn F? How do you give this team anything but a damn F? You put their expectations of what it was into the offseason of, going out there again, Kevin Durant, Kyrie, hopeful for Zion, and they end up with RJ, who is nice, but let's be honest, Knicks fans was hoping, for Zion. And then they go out there and sign like 17 power forwards, man. And yes, they didn't like lock themselves into like any long-term deals, so you got to give them some props for that. So maybe you say, maybe you give them like a D plus because they didn't like totally screw things up. I think C is a little lenient based off the expectations though. So they are still going to be set up to make a run at the 2021 NBA free agency. We'll see what RJ's doing by then and kind of go from there. Next we have the OKC Thunder with an A. That is a tough one. That is a tough bitch ass cookie right there, because they were able to make the most out of a horrible situation. But if you go into that offseason and you would have asked OKC Thunder fans, hey, would you guys trade Russell Westbrook and Paul George for draft picks and Chris Paul and Gallinari? They would have, like, just the cockiness of the OKC fans, they would have slapped you in the face, man, and they would have threw you to the ground and started curb stomping you if you would have even brought that up. So, in hindsight, OKC fans are going to be like, yeah, man, this was big time. Like, oh, we didn't need Russell and Paul George. And they're going to be crying on the inside, but on the outside, they're going to be confident this was big time. I guess based off a bad situation, getting all those draft picks is nice, but what you lost is definitely not an A. It's definitely not an A. Maybe a B minus. Maybe. Next up, we got the Magic with a C rating. So they got Alfred Camino, Chuma Okiki, and Josh Maggette. They lost Mozgov. Well, that's a damn worthy of an A right there anyway. Able to get Vucevic back. Terrence Ross. I would say a C feels about right. Alfred Camino will be nice. I don't really know how he fits in with the team, though, because like they already got so many forwards and Jonathan Isaac and Aaron Gordon, and even this Chuma guy out there. I don't know if he'll really play all that much next season due to injuries. I also wish they would address the Mo Bamba situation, because like you just kind of committed to Vucevic. It would have been nice if they would have done that. I would say a C feels about right though. Plus Terrence Ross, one of the best like just backups in the NBA. Next we got the 76ers with a B. Yeah, like losing Jimmy Butler and JJ Redick sucks. But I feel like, because I feel like if they would have kept Jimmy and JJ, nobody would really be going into this next season saying that Philadelphia is like the favorite in the Eastern Conference. I've heard on numerous occasions people say that the 76ers are now the favorites out there, that Al Horford and Joel Embiid are just going to mesh completely fine. And I think a lot of people underrate what Josh Richardson does out there. I'm not one of them. I love his game. Tobias Harris can get a lot more shots now at that 3 spot. And of course, Ben Simmons is going to be a year better. I would say they had an A offseason. They really set themselves up for some nice success. And this Matisse Thybulle, I feel like he's going to be one of the best defensive players in the NBA in a few seasons. So just getting him was nice. And you look at like what they lost, like outside of Jimmy and JJ, because like their starting 5 is fine. It's like, yeah, you lost Boban, Amir Johnson, TJ McConnell. It's whatever. Also, Trey Burke's a beast. Next up, we got the Phoenix Suns with a C. No. This is a D plus at best. I would say closer to an E. And I don't give out E's, man. I'm usually like a person that says like, okay, like D minus, or then it's just an F. I'm gonna say an E for the Phoenix Suns. They made some very questionable draft night decisions. I don't think they put enough on this team. Like Ricky Rubio is fine, but I know we were all looking forward to for them going for like a D'Lo or somebody like that. Frank Kaminsky, I guess he'll be better than Dragan Bender, but they just didn't do enough. And they reached for Cam Johnson. He might end up being a really good player, but they still reached for him. Okay, so next up we have the Portland Trailblazers with a C+. Their big-time players they got with Sam Whiteside, Kent Bazemore. They were able to go out there and re-sign Rodney Hood. I thought losing Alfred Camino kind of sucked. Enes Kanter was nice from Seth Curry was nice. But overall, man, like I'm actually really happy with their offseason. I would say it's closer to like a B+. Nazir Little was an absolute steal at 25. I think Hassan Whiteside is going to come into this season very motivated. Kent Bazemore is going to give you so much more offensively than Evan Turner could ever dream of. Mario Hezonja is not going to be a bad role player. I actually completely forgot about him. No, man, they had a really good offseason. And because they already have like their big 3 in Damian, CJ, and like Nurkic. It's just about putting the right guys around them, and I really think they did that. Next, we have the Sacramento Kings with a B. They got Harrison Barnes back on like a $90 million deal, maybe a little bit of an overpay. Dwayne Dedman is going to be more of a veteran center that should help the squad out a bit. Trevor Ariza should be a nice veteran too. Corey Joseph is fine. I would say, B. I would say they had a pretty average offseason. I would say probably closer to like a C. I would say it was an average offseason at best. Next up, we have the San Antonio Spurs with a B-. Their notable addition was Keldon Johnson, Luka Samanic, both guys that, you know, in Greg Popovich's system could end up being really solid players in the future. B- though. Once again, I'm like looking at this right here. You know, losing Marcus Morris was already an L. They basically just gave away Davis Bertans to free up space to get Marcus Morris, who just like went to the Knicks. I don't think you can give him a B-, guys. I'm gonna say a C-. They just didn't like that. The draft picks were nice, but they were gonna get good draft picks anyway because it's the Spurs. Rudy Gay re-signing was okay. They didn't really do enough though to put themselves in a better situation to win next season. Next up, we got the Toronto Raptors. You lost Kawhi, you lost Danny Green, you lost Jeremy Lin. You got Patrick McCaw back. You replaced those guys with Stanley Johnson, Cameron Payne, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. No, this is a D. This is a D. And I know Raptor fans say that I hate on their team, but you just did not replace the Finals MVP and one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA with anything notable out there to get this team back on the radar. Like, yes, the team's still going to be fine, but you ain't talking contention next year. That's for damn sure. Next up, we got the Utah Jazz with the B+. Yeah, I was kind of looking at the list right here. I would say like more like an A-. I thought Mike Conley's going to be like the perfect player alongside Donovan Mitchell. Bojan Bogdanovic is going to be an amazing scorer out there. You finally addressed not having Derek Favors as your starting power forward anymore, which is great. Now I would say an A- offseason for the men. And then finally, we do have the Washington Wizards with a B-. I mean, I guess if you're like saying, okay, yeah, we just have a trash team now and didn't do anything to get better, then sure, it was B- because you would set yourself up for the NBA draft lottery next season. But like, you did get some nice young players. I will say that. Like, you got some nice guys. If one of these young players can end up being something, then it's a W just for that reason. It would have been nice if you guys would have addressed Bradley Beal's situation either by giving him a contract, which was offered up, or just trading him away. I would like to see in that. A B-. I mean, I'm not going to say these additions right there are as notable of that. I'm going to say like a C-. Just nothing really impressive. Didn't really do anything like bad though. Just fine. But yeah, guys, that is the end of the video right here. So I do hope you guys all enjoyed. Give me your grades in the comment section below. If you want to go on like Notepad, type out every single NBA team, give me your grades. That'd be awesome to read. If not, it's also completely fine. But yeah, man. So damn, I'm ready for NBA 2K20. I love doing these article videos. I'm just like, I'm craving some 2K20 right now, man. But yeah, so probably have a rebuild for my next video. If there's a rebuild you guys want me to do, let me know. Maybe I'll do a what if, something like that coming up soon. But thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, guys.